Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to Triad Nation. As always, I'm your host, the omegatryhard, and today we have another tier list for you. We are going to be knocking out the tech tier list tonight, so let's just go ahead and roll that intro. So, per usual, let's just go ahead and start off by explaining the way that the tier list works. We are going to be moving from top to bottom. Over here, from top to bottom, that would be best to worst, and left to right would be best to worst. So if we have this line up here, Sentinel would be the best, Stealth Spidey would be the second best, third best, fourth best. These two would be better tiers than this. Both of these tiers are better than this. That's how that works. I don't think I have any special disclaimers for you guys now, but yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into it then. So Star-Lord, I'm going to put him at basically average because he doesn't really do anything much. All he does is attack and damage things. But when he reaches his full combo, his full attack bonus, he can do some pretty insane damage. He's still one of the highest DPS potential champions in the game, but you really need to be able to play him perfectly and sustain his combo, because unlike Aegon, there's no way to persist that between fights. Doc Ock is going to be amazing. He is a super underrated character. He's super good at managing power, at heal blocking, at power locking. Really strong character. He just kind of has a very specific, very high IQ playstyle to him. I personally haven't mastered it. I haven't practiced it too much, but he helped me a bunch in a bunch of the different variants. Specifically, I think the tech variant and another one where there's like those passive power gain paths. He just completely shuts them down. Oh man. Oh, sorry about that. Something, my throat felt really dry. I think I've been talking too much. I think this is like my third video recording. Um, but yeah, he's super easy, high damage, or not super easy, high damage, very useful, and yeah, sorry, that really threw me off. Mysterio, straight up to amazing too. He's a character that, again, super slept on. He has the ability to not have his ability accuracy reduction reduced. He has access to heal blocks really easily, high damage potential, power lock, missing, um, power lock, missing, poison, really high poison. He can do some really cool things with his level 1 where he can like reverse damage, so you can throw your level 1, just get beat up, and then reflect all that damage and heal it back. Super cool. Really high damage after these special 3. Good synergies. He has a specific synergy with Penny Parker, who increases his damage exponentially. It is incredible. Super slept on character. Iron Man Infinity War, I'm going to put at the B tier. He's pretty defensive, so that gives him a couple points in his favor to jump up the ranking, but he's also pretty strong offensively as well. You just have to know how to play him. If you can keep his plasmas up, he can do a pretty decent amount of damage. His certain hits, I don't remember which ones, but certain hits, the ones that do the repulsors, can't be evaded, I think, and can't be auto blocked. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, he's pretty good if you know how to play him, but it's gonna take some practice, and it's probably gonna be a little bit slow. Green Goblin, just damn it, Kabam. He doesn't do what he was advertised to do. When he was first released, he was advertised as like this insane power control champion and was going to be super good, but he ended up being a flop. Super cool character, super cool like design, but the way that the bombs work and stuff like that, but just it doesn't work out on paper. Ultron, I'm going to put him into the you were so close tier, because they were so close to having a cool character. For a long time, he was a really exclusive character because the only way that you could get him was from exploring the abyss. So not many people had him for a while. But he just doesn't really do much. He has access to poisons and he has access to heal blocks, which is good. It's just not the easiest to access and it doesn't last that long. So it's just not that great. Hulkbuster. I want to put in the A tier, but I'm going to put in the basically average. He's pretty good, honestly. He's pretty good. He has quick access to shocks. He has more damage the more shocks that the opponent has. He can go unblockable. He can power lock. But something about him doesn't feel good to play. He doesn't feel intuitive. There's this weird thing where he gets benefits from hitting into the opponent's block, which is something you don't really want to do all the time because it can have a lot of negative interactions on certain nodes. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't like him, so that's where he's gonna go. Warlock, Daddy Warlock. He is the Oh man, he is the heal block god. He is so easy to use, so user friendly, and he is so effective at everything that he does. He can heal block, he can armor break, he can power drain, he can do basically just those things, but he does them so easy, so effortlessly, and really turns the opponent's good things against them. So super awesome character. Again, oh, again. Cool character, really really shitty design, even after the slight buff that he got a year or two ago, something like that, which I don't remember what it did, but I feel like I think it was when they gave him the power gain in his overload state, or maybe they lowered it or something like that. He got some sort of buff, but it's just he's still pretty terrible. Ghosty girl obviously has to go to the super awesome top of the list, because in my opinion she's either the top or the top 2 character in the game. She can handle just about everything. If you want to know exactly how she works, I have a ghost guide that you guys can watch. Basically, phase beats everything except anti-miss mechanic. She can turn debuffs, damaging debuffs, into benefits and more damage for herself, guaranteed crits. Yeah, just insane champion. Ultron used to be pretty good. He used to be pretty good, but really slow, really low damage. But for a long time, he was one of the only double immune champions that had a regen. So he was very sought after, and very often used on alliance quests and stuff like that. So he's always been fairly competitive, or not always. There was like 2 or 3 years where he was really competitive, 2 or 3 years where he was pretty trash, and then now after his rework he's pretty competitive again. He has quick access to degen and bleed damage, which is pretty insane. He has pretty decent regen, really high damage just in general, because I think he has guaranteed crits every like 4 hits or something like that now. His energy resistance and something else through his duped ability is pretty good. Just overall pretty good character, really high damage, really good utility. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. Kang, another damn it command. Such a cool character from the lore. He was a community request, super popular champion, very cool trophy champion to get, but he just really does nothing. He has nothing interesting in his kit, nothing special. The only thing he can do is actually, I'm gonna put him up just for that. If you are specifically playing him in a piece of content where excuse me, where power reserve is active, or a way to regain power, he's pretty good, because he's one of the few champions that have specials that can 100% stun. But that's basically the only thing he has going for him. Outside of that, pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Howard the Duck, I'm gonna put in A tier because his damage is a lot more consistent. His debuffs are a lot more consistent now that he got the rework, so he's a lot better. But in my opinion, he's still not like the best of the best. He's not a character that you would probably want to use everywhere, even though you could. Yeah, I think he's just really good out of the box, really easy to use, and because the RNG aspect of his build, of his kit, I mean, just kind of went out the window. It kind of risen his power. Sentinel, I'm going to put up here as well. Really easy to use, really straightforward. At 100 charges, his damage is pretty good. Access to unstoppable, access to shock debuff. Just pretty good character with a really intuitive playstyle and some pretty useful utility and abilities and stuff like that, because he can heal block, he can armor break, he can incinerate, he can regen, he can I think he can apply effects through block, double immune, just yeah, straightforward good. Stark Spidey also pretty amazing, really high damage, ability to auto blocks or auto evade specials, taunt, power drain, again really high damage. um, the only issue that I have with him is he's really fragile, and if you don't have the poise charges, if you haven't built him up, his damage can really fall off. But for the most part, really good character. Vision, Age of Ultron, or not Ultron, OG Vision. This might be a controversial pick, but I really don't like this champion. He's very average. He has really good power drain, but what he would use him for over the Vision Age of Ultron is his ability to just get 2 bars of power, whatever, at max sig. But it's only every like 20 seconds or something like that. That's not that great. It's not that useful. You don't notice it that much, and when you do notice it, typically it just pushes you to a special 3 if you're max sig, and you're upset that you have to use that anyway. So I'm just gonna put him at the or the beginning of the basically average tier. Penny Parker, I'm gonna throw her at the top of the S tier, or not the top of the S tier, above in the S tier. Um, really unique utilities. She can't be stunned while blocking, I believe. Immune to poison and incinerate. She can auto block. She can power burn. She has a really cool, really fun playstyle where if you like power drain and then bring them back up above a certain threshold of power, they gain charges. You can convert those charges with a special 2 to incinerates and more damage. Just really cool, really useful character that doesn't really need support but also has good synergies. Rocket, come on. You were so close, Kabam. Really cool character, really fun to play because he's so tiny, and so his animations are really cool, but he just doesn't do anything. There's no purpose for him at all. Um, uh, oh man, the fucking yawning is gonna be a signature move from this channel. But yeah, there's not much place for him. He's so close to being good, he's just not. War Machine, I'm gonna put in the basically average. He's, from my opinion, he's mostly a support character now because of his persistent charge ability, which increases tech champions, I believe. Um, but on his own, he's still good. He's still usable. He's just not somebody that you would use over anybody in this tier, in my opinion. So that's where he goes. I'm going to put Vision Age of Ultron right up here because his power drain, while that's basically his only piece of utility, his power drain is very high up there, and the ability to power control the opponent, he's up there with Magic and Doom, duking it out. And the way that his signature ability works, it makes it so that as you're stealing the opponent's power, you're going to gain some of that power that was being stolen. So it's a lot easier and a lot more noticeable to just keep rinsing specials to keep them power controlled. He's just far better at what the characters were built for, and yeah, that's where he's going because I think he's awesome. Come on, man, you were so close with Red Skull too. Really cool mechanic to power drain on parries with armor ups and stuff like that. His shock mechanics are interesting, but they're too hard to work, and when they do work, it's still not that high of a damage output. So just a couple tweaks and he'd be a lot better. Iron Man, you only really use him for the regen. He's not great. Vulture, I'm going to put, man, the A tier is actually really good for tech. I would have guessed that they were pretty weak, but so far they're pretty good at tier list wise, at least. So far it's above a 50% rate is amazing or better, which is kind of nuts, I think. Who did I just put? Vulture, yeah. Really good, really high damage, high utility with his ability to like power control the opponent in a really unique way. Really fun to play, really cool animations, all that kind of stuff. So he goes in the A tier. Psycho Man, dog shit. I'm just gonna put him there. He doesn't really do anything. His kit is really interesting, but even when you play it perfectly, there's so many characters that are just do it better, do it easier, and do it more efficiently. Why would you use him? Nimrod. Nimrod is a character that I would have put in the basically average or the A tier, just because I haven't really tested him much, and the only thing that I knew about him was he's really good versus mutants. But when I say that in my head, I think, well, he's not that good then because he's only good against mutants. But if we take that logic towards Human Torch, he's mostly used for mystics. He's known as a mystic slayer. And there's a lot of people that say he's only good versus mystics. Yeah, he's super good, but only against mystics. And he's pretty routinely seen as one of the best characters in the game. So why wouldn't the same thing be said about Nimrod? And somebody that watched my video, I'm not sure if he's a subscriber or not, but he sent me one of his videos kind of showcasing Nimrod. And after watching that, I was amazed at what he could do. His damage was really high. He was tanking specials, tanking hits really effectively. He was just doing a lot of really cool things pretty easily. I thought he was a lot more complicated. And because of that, honestly, I'm going to put him S tier above Penny Parker. He seems absolutely insane, and I'm actually really hoping that I can pull him in this next featured 6-star. Because that could be a game changer. Mutant is a stacked class with some really annoying defenders. I'm looking at you, Domino, Magneto, Emma Frost, Bishop, Havoc, and he just destroys all of them. I really think that he's going to be a character that you're gonna want for 7.4, for Act 6, for upcoming variants, Alliance War, for the competitive mode. Be on the lookout for Nimrod, because after seeing that video, I really think that there's a lot of potential for him out there. I'll see if I can find the link again to link it in the video, but yeah, super cool character. I really hope I get him sometime soon. Guardian, I'm going to put at the top of the, or not the top, I'll put him in the middle of the A tier. Really good character, really gains a benefit from being max sig. He gains some pseudo immunity to bleed. His block proficiency is awesome. He adds block proficiency to the team, which is also awesome. Quick access to shock. He has really high damage, really cool animations. Super cool character. I just really like him, so he's gonna go at the middle of the A tier. Super effective. I'm gonna put Punisher 2099 at the top of the B tier, just because I haven't played with him personally since his rework to see how efficient he is. But I think he's a really effective character. When you get his battery overcharged or overclocked, whatever it is, he has pretty decent damage, and you can keep it up a lot easier, it seems. He has a guaranteed stun on his heavies for the cost of some battery. He has a regen at the cost of some power from his energy, or from his battery. He has a power lock at the cost of some of his battery power. Really cool character. I'm not sure how I feel 100% about the battery mechanic. Really cool, but sometimes I feel like I wish there was a way to keep it up more consistently, because every time you use a special 2 or special 3 or trigger a power lock, stuff like that. That all consumes the battery, and sometimes you don't notice it, or you don't it's not your intention to use it, and when your battery drops but isn't fully drained, it can feel really bad because you're stuck at this weird spot where your damage just isn't that good, but then you don't really have enough battery to do anything important, and yeah, it just feels bad to play. So that's why I'm going to put him at the B tier. Yondu, cool mechanic, cool character, but just pretty weak. Silver Centurion, I'm gonna put him right there. He does, from what I've seen, he's done a lot of really impressive things with his shock and plasma interactions, or shock and incinerate interactions. Really fun to play. Again, cool animations. Doesn't need synergies. Doesn't need super high sig, I don't think. He's just a character that you can bring basically anywhere, and he can be pretty effective. So actually, I'm gonna scoot him up a tad. I'm gonna put him right over there. He's a character that I haven't had too much time to practice with, but I really hope I can do mine or pull a 6-star to really start getting that testing going. Civil Warrior, I'm gonna put here just to kind of placate you guys in the audience. I personally would put him somewhere in the A tier because I think his damage, once you get enough Furies, is really good. I really like his special too. It feels really good to throw. The power drain is really effective. But a lot of you guys just really don't like the way that the Furies work and refreshing them, which is strange to me because I never really have issues keeping it up or getting it to work and stuff like that. He just always feels fun to play. But yeah, I think he's pretty solidly upper B, maybe lower A tier, but I'll put him there just for the sake of it. Darkhawk, another guilty pleasure champion of mine, which I really like him. He does a lot of cool things. He can get a regen, he can go invisible, he can do really, really high damage in his null mode. He can power control in the level 2 mode because it decreases the defensive combat power rate that they get. It's really cool. The only thing I would say is he's slightly dependent on synergies where you can start in one of those modes, because if you don't start in one of those modes, it can be a little bit of an annoyance to ramp up to them and get the timing and stuff like that right. But starting in one of those random modes is super useful, and his synergy partners aren't bad either. He has synergies with Venom, with Ghost Rider, with Night Thrashers. They're all good characters that you don't mind having on your team. Guillotine 2099, I think she's probably number 5. Yeah, I think she's pretty solidly number 5. Maybe an argument could be used to put her above Penny, but I'm not going to. So she has really, really, really high damage. I think some of the highest damage potential in the game, maybe the highest, with her the way her combo works and the way her basic attacks work. Basically, she increases her attack as you gain in combo, and after I think 100 hits, she does bonus damage on top of her normal attacks based on her combo. And I'm not sure if there's a cap in it, to be honest. The only issue that I have is there's no way to consistently keep that combo in normal questing, because odds are once you're past that 100 combo mark, the next fight you're gonna end it before you can get to a special 3, which means more often than not, when I'm playing her at least, she goes one fight really good, and then one fight you have to ramp her, then one fight really good, and then one fight you have to ramp her. And it feels really bad, especially because I think she's the only character in the game that plays this way, but in my opinion, she gets worse when you when you rank her up, because when you rank her up, she does more damage at a base level, which means that at a base level, she's going to kill quicker, which means it's going to be harder to finish the match with that special 3 to be able to start that next match with 100. But when you're in that 100 range, you're also still going to kill faster, so it's going to be harder to keep that up. So it's a really weird position that she's in. And finally, we have Nebula. Nebula. I'm gonna put her. I'm gonna put her here. I'm gonna put her here. She has really high shock damage, really cool mechanics. She has the mechanic where you can keep changing or charging the shock charges to gain a bunch of them, parry to apply them, and then special 2 to double them. And her damage, just, it's insane when you do that, and it actually works out. And before, her biggest issue was she was way too tanky to be able to hold block to gain those charges, and she just felt really fragile. But with her rework a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, they made it so she's a bit tankier. It's a bit easier to stack those charges and stuff like that, and I think they actually might have increased the damage a little bit when you do apply them. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe that's just a feel thing, but yeah, she's pretty good now. And I don't think I have anything else to say about the tier list. So thank you guys for watching. Time to do our end of tier mix up. So let's go ahead and I can't change ghost because that's too no. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do that. Let's put you down here, you up here. I'll put you there, you here, you there, you here. Let's move you there. Let's move you down there, you here. All right, that looks good. All right, guys, and welcome to the recap for the tech class. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do a very quick rundown because it's getting late here. But Nimrod, finally we had somebody that overtook the Ghost best character in the game. He's just insane. He just makes every mutant champion his bitch, and as you guys know, mutants are menaces. There's so many of them and they keep getting buffed, and Nimrod makes them look like little sissies. Mysterio, he was always one of the best one of the best tech characters in the game, but with his new synergy with Penny Parker, his damage is just through the roof. Silver Centurion, Plasma's good. Ultron, his rework is one of the best reworks that we've seen so far. His damage is pretty unprecedented. His playstyle is really fun, really easy to use, and really consistent. Penny Parker, I wish she was better. She just doesn't have enough utility and enough damage. Nebula, same thing. Her rework is pretty good, but could be better. That's going to be it for the tech class. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you so much for everybody that hit the thumbs up, for the thumbs down, for all of the comments, and for everybody subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do and all you guys give. It really does mean the world to me. But whether you're subscribed or not, whether you're hopping into my Discord and stuff like that or not, all of it is appreciated no matter what. Thank you guys. Truly thank you guys. But that's going to be it for this video. I love you guys. Be safe. Happy holidays. Happy New Year whenever you're watching this. And I will be in the next video right there with you guys. Peace.